Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. This is going to be a birthday message for the sign of Pisces. Hello, Pisces. How are you guys doing? I hope you are doing well. Happy birthday, friends. It is your season. It is your time. Let's see you shine. That was so corny. I'm sorry. But anyway, Pisces, it is your season. I'm recording this on the first day of Pisces season, so February 19th. Shout out to you guys who have your birthdays today. And shout out all the way to those who were born at the end of the season on March 20th. Whenever your day is and whatever you plan to do, I hope it is an amazing time. If you're able to get together with people that you know and love and that you are happy to be surrounded by, please do so safely as it's still a pandemic outside. And in general, Pisces, I hope you are safe, happy, healthy, and secure, okay? Since the last time we did this reading together, things have changed a little bit, so let me quickly run down what you're going to see. But before that, general announcements, anything you want, it's in the description box. If you want to jump ahead to when the reading begins, feel free. There's a timestamp down below. There's also information on how to purchase a personal reading with me down below. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, you may do so by following the link down below as well. And also a general announcement before actually I explain what's going on here is on the 13th of March, I will be going live here on the channel, live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, for any of you Pisces who might have a question that you want answered very quickly with me through the tarot. So if you have time, if you got nothing else going on and you want to hang out with me, I will be doing that again for your birthday season, for Pisces specifically, March 13th, 7 p.m. here, okay? So as I was saying, last time that we did your birthday reading, things were different. This time around, I'm using the Kipper cards, and I'm going to use them as anchor cards to talk about different areas of your life. So it's sort of like a 5-in-1. So far, I've been doing these, I think, since like Leo season. So last August, I think, is when I started these. Sometimes there's like an overarching story and like other areas of your life are connected. That makes sense. It is your life. But basically the Kipper cards are going to act, as I said before, anchor cards, which I will get a little bit of an intuitive hit off of, and then we will expand upon them with a few different tarot decks, okay? So this one up here, that is going to be the central focus of your mental body at this time, what's going on in your head, what's weighing on your mind at this time. This is going to be for your physical body, so this is what's going on regarding how you physically show up in the world, how you're feeling in your health and wellness sector, and possibly just, some actions that you might be taking or what's, consuming you in your day-to-day life. You get what I mean? Over here is going to be your spiritual body, so what's going on in terms of like your development, if you're interested in ascension, if you're interested in purging and in healing old traumas and old karmic wounds, things like that. We'll see what the anchor is there. Down here in this bottom left corner is going to be the anchor card regarding your purpose. Not what is your purpose, but what is the central focus of your purpose at this time. I don't know what your life purpose is. That's something that cannot be answered in a general reading, but you all have some type of purpose, and at this time there could be like a general common thread that runs through many of your stories. I hope that makes sense. And then down here in the bottom right corner, we're going to talk about what the central focus is of any type of soul relationships that you have, soulmate relationships that you might have, okay? So of significance, whether it be romantic or otherwise, we'll talk about that then and there, okay? So without further ado, let's get this thing started. Everything's been pre-shuffled, meditated, all that good stuff. Let's get into it. What is the central focus of Pisces' mental body at this time using the Kipper deck? What is the central focus? House on your mental, in your mental space, on your mind at this time. So for some of you, maybe you're thinking about your home, renovations are coming through. Some of you like purchasing a very fancy home. I'm not an architecture buff or even an apprentice or anything. So I don't really know what style of home that is. But maybe some of you are looking into, traveling to a place that has a, like in the States, like I'm getting like New England, you know what I mean? Like this type of architecture is like more prevalent in New England, or at least on the East Midlands, I think, or something like that, Mid-Atlantic, I think, than it is, say, in California. So some of you might have interest in traveling to a home like this, purchasing a home like this. You might live in a home like this or grew up in a home like this. And again, I'm getting like through here, renovations, definitely moving, setting up shop, setting up a firm foundation for yourself. But then also I'm getting the burden of home. So either the architecture, like the physical space that you occupy, or the people that are occupants alongside you in your home are a little stressful. If not people that you live with, people that you refer to as your home. So your parents, your children, your spouse, things like that. Even if you live apart from these people, they would represent something that feels like home, an anchor to you, a foundation to you. It's a little murky, as you can see by the illustration. So there might be some unknowns or hidden truths that you or other people are keeping. And that is sort of like, I feel like this feeling of like privileged information, need to know basis. So some people could be moving in shadows, moving and making decisions without your knowledge, or vice versa. So a fair amount of things that could be happening for some of you guys regarding your mental body at this time, and regarding what the house could represent to you. If that doesn't resonate, that's okay. We're going to clarify with the tarot, see if we get any more information, okay? And maybe something will come out for you if it's not literally about a physical home or the people that you live with, something like that, okay? So let's get some clarification here. Why is the house, and it's card 20. I do like to mention and highlight that the numerology in the Kipper deck, so that would reduce down to a 2. So that might be, again, a decision point. 2s equal decision, this or that, up or down, left or right, you know what I mean? So that might be significant to you, the number 2 or the number 20. So let's get some clarification. Why is house here for Pisces in their mental body during their birthday season? Why is house the anchor card for their mental body during their birthday season? And I say during their birthday season, this is when I'm casting the reading. It can extend beyond or even before this time period of your birthday in February/March 2021. You get what I mean? All right, let's see. Clarify house for Pisces, please, in their mental body at this time. Oh, that became a very dense shuffle. Didn't really like that. There it is. Let's see if we can get at least one more for Pisces on house. No. There it is. All right, and Ten of Wands in reverse. The first card that fell out was the Hierophant and Ten of Wands in reverse. Hierophant, major arcana for Taurus. Some of you could be dealing with a Taurus. You don't have to be. And Ten of Wands in reverse. So yeah, it feels like some of you, this is like a family home or a home that you've purchased alongside a partner, whether it be a spouse, a live-in boyfriend, girlfriend, a partner in terms of just a roommate or another relative of yours, something like that. And you may have gone into something with them, or you're thinking about going into something with them if you haven't done it yet. And the current status is very fraught. Ten of Wands in reverse is good, but I feel it's not great, because I feel like there's like worry about keeping it up. If you keeping it up, like upkeep. Remember I said for some of you this is about renovation or possibly buying an older home, because again, like the style of home on this card with the Kipper deck, this is Victorian age, so that's like what? That's like the 1800s, right? Something like that. It's a long time ago as compared to the 20th century, right? So I feel for some of you, you may have invested in property with a person, getting the Hierophant, like you're in partnership with a person, whether it be romantic, business partners, friends, it doesn't matter. Like you are linked to someone, or someone wants to be linked to you in a very long-term sense, in a very solidified sense. And this purchase of this home, for some of you, it's an older home, and the upkeep is becoming too much, or you're afraid it will be too much. Like some of you maybe you haven't bought this house yet, or moved towards it or something like that, and it's still up in the air, and you're worried about that upkeep. You're worried about what it's going to take to make this house a home. Yes. Others of you already established. It doesn't have to be this style of home like it's depicted on the card there, but I feel like some of you've dialed into. I don't know why they're making me say it. You've dialed into this space. You've dialed into this agreement. You've dialed into this commitment with a person, and in particular regarding a piece of property. Again, it could just be a business. You could call your business your home or something like that. Or you work from home, so your business is within your actual residential space. Anyway, that commitment coming from the Hierophant energy that I feel is, it's not breaking your back, but it's not without stress. That Ten of Wands in reverse isn't screaming to me that things are going swimmingly. They could, for some of you, be alleviated or reducing in stress. But for some of you, it's just like delayed stress, delayed anxiety, or sustained. It keeps coming up. So it could be a project that needs to be fixed in the physical home, or settling documents to make a sale, or to solidify ownership, or passing over the deed. And there's just like this, it keeps coming up, or it's not fully dissipated, you know? And Pisces, I'm getting this energy. It feels like it's coming from you. This is your reading. I am going to address it as if this is happening to you, but someone could feel this way about you, aka this could be vice versa. But I feel like Pisces, you're very, I don't want to say annoyed, but you are aware of, I've made a commitment that I maybe shouldn't have made. Or I'm about to make a commitment, I'm about to sign paperwork, I'm about to get myself into a situation where maybe I'm going to be in over my head. Excuse me. I wouldn't worry too much about that, because I think that's really your anxiety, your worry. I think it's a little cart before the horse, yeah? I don't know that many of you, well, some of you, I think there are some of you that you do have reason to be panicked. You do have reason to worry. Others of you, it's really in your head, or you're really building it up, like the staircase here. Like you're building it up. You're making it more than what it needs to be. Or again, like you're projecting it into the future. Like you're like, oh, what's going to happen in 5 years when we have to, get all new pipes because this house is so old, and da 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 da. And it's not that you shouldn't worry until it's here. I understand the caution for the future, but it's also like, I don't know. I think it could be sour. It could be souring. Thank you. It could be souring how you or other people are showing up in the situation. Like, it might put a damper on things. In other words, Pisces, someone here, might be you, is a little bit of a Debbie Downer. I don't want to say that that's bad, because again, I think it is, especially if you're going into buying some type of property that is older, has some type of structure problems, has some type of issues with like the plumbing or the wiring, or, sewage, whatever. Like, be aware of the issue. And if it's, okay, thank you, maybe that's it. Some of you feel really annoyed or frustrated because even without signing anything officially, you feel like you've officially agreed to something. And I don't know what to do with that, but it feels like if this was a business deal, or if this was just, again, trying to purchase your first home, you haven't even put an offer in on this place. You haven't even begun the paperwork, but you feel like, oh, this is the house my husband wants, or this is the house my wife wants. Therefore, this is the house we're going to get. I don't know your parent. I don't know your marriage. I don't know the dynamic, but it feels like for some of you, it's not really official how locked in you are to it, but your perception or the attitude that you're taking is very much, oh, it's already done. The deal is set. It's really not. So if you do, for many of you, not all of you, but for many of you, you can step away from this if you are really unsure of how much or how appropriate is the word they're giving me, how appropriate the situation is for you. If you feel it's too much of your time, money, energy, effort for you, or you feel it's too much of a risk, you feel you just don't want to spend the rest of your life flipping this house and making it the perfect home, you'd rather have a house already like the way you want it to be. Like, and it doesn't even have to be about like hard renovations, by the way. This could be about design. This could be about decorations. This could be about feng shui. You know what I mean? There's something about the way your physical space, whether it be home, whether it be a workspace, whether it be with, intimate partners or business partners, there's something about it's not quite the way you want it to be, and you feel like you're locked into it. And some of you are absolutely not hardcore locked into how this physical space looks or is being taken care of, is being renovated, is being, made into the home that you want it to be. Okay. I think that's pretty straightforward. I mean, I was talking a lot about physical space, so I was about to transition, but let's quickly add in here that, again, people, environments, even to some of your extents, your workplace can feel like your home, or you work out of your home as an entrepreneur or something like that. So I feel like, again, the message is still the same. If you feel, and I'm not trying to tell everybody to like run away from the people that you know and love and separate from them. No. It's just like, I feel cut yourself some slack here, Pisces, but at the same time, don't silence yourself or don't acquiesce because of the people around you. What do I mean? If you're living with people or working with people who, for all intents and purposes, aren't really on your vibe right now, or you feel that you have to be, again, like this tying, this Hierophant energy is very much a tie, like a tethering, like we are together, like it's like that. It's like being glued to a person or glued to a situation. If that's what you believe and that's what you want to go with, cool. But at the same time, don't do it to the point where you are ending up sacrificing more than you should. You're spending more money, energy, effort, time than the other people involved or the other person involved. Like, I want you to, it's feeling like you need to make sure you're getting back something. You know, you can't be the person who's consistently giving to the situation simply because of this idea of commitment or being bound. Do you get what I mean? So I don't know what that means to you. You know, it's different for all of you. Some of you, this is a friendship we're talking about. Others of you, this is like your family or your work situation. So I'm not sure how you're supposed to navigate that completely, but there's like this, it's like you're obeying something with this Hierophant energy. And I just feel like you don't necessarily have to completely give up on what you might want or what you might need. So I would encourage you to not be afraid to express what you need or draw some kind of, I don't want to say line in the sand, but I mean, don't give up the fight with this Ten of Wands in reverse. And I didn't show you this upright. This is a new deck to my channel. I know other readers use this deck, but that's what it looks like. So, I mean, look at that long journey that this person has gone on. You know, she's been traveling for a while with her oxen, or her ox, I guess it's one ox. And so there's like work to be done and there's diligence here. And I feel that very easily in your energy, Pisces. You've worked for whatever you've gotten. You everything that you are experiencing, you've put in your fair share for it, whether that be for good or for worse, right? And I feel like with it being in reverse like that, it's like some of you are chalking up all of your hard work to be for nothing. And I don't like that for you because it's a little defeatist. It could also be, just for a few of you, like maybe one or two of you, it could also be that you're finding someone is stealing or taking credit for your hard work, basically. Taking credit for everything you've put in. Like that could be why the Ten of Wands is in reverse, okay? Now, what is the central focus of Pisces' physical body, your health and wellness at this time? Let's see. Courthouse. Card 23, add those two together, they become a 5, so that could be important to you. Central focus of your body, your physical body at this time in your health and wellness. Courthouse. I mean, truly, some of you might be spending a little bit of your time in a courthouse. You know, you have to show up there, you know, sit in the gallery or, you know, provide testimony, whatever you're doing, or preside. Some of you could be a judge or you could be arguing a case as a lawyer. For some of you, you might work for a courthouse or work for a judge, work for a lawyer, something like that. And so you're physically showing up to your job, maybe for the first time in a long time since the pandemic has been here just about a year. Happy anniversary, folks. But there's something about what is fair in the situation, what is just in the situation or in your life is kind of wearing on your body. It's for some of you, it's really wearing on your conscience. Some of you might feel guilty about something. Some of you might actually be guilty of a crime. If you're watching me from the courthouse, congratulations. I don't know how you're doing that. I would assume your phone would be restricted. But anyway, or any other device would be restricted. But yeah, what is fair in the situation? Due process, like that. Oh, okay, that's very I dig that. For some of you, like social justice is not that I like that it's weighing on your heart or I don't want to say stressing you out, but it gives you maybe some anxiety. You feel very strongly about what you're witnessing in the world around you, whether it be here in the States or elsewhere. You know, we here in the States, we're not the only ones dealing with all kinds of social justice issues, but I feel some of you feel so strongly about it that maybe you've turned turned over into activism. You've become much more involved in the justice system. You're donating to places, or you're showing up to places. And, I feel like advocacy is coming out strongly for a few of you. So you're spending more time down at the courthouse. Maybe you are a lawyer and never in your life did you do pro bono work. Now maybe you're doing pro bono work. You get what I mean? But in general, it's about fairness. It's about what is right in the situation. And who is right? Yes, who is right in the situation? There's the big question mark over that. What is right and who is right in the situation? For some of you, that means you're waiting on a decision from a court. Like I said, you could be in the middle of a case as a plaintiff or a defendant. I don't know. But let's get some further information here, okay? So for courthouse-wise, courthouse, the central focus, the anchor energy of Pisces' physical body at this time. Why is this the central focus or the anchor of Pisces' physical body at this time? Their physical body, their health, and their wellness, please. Why is this the central focus? Three of Swords, all right. All right. Few of you, that's a divorce or some type of separation, some type of split in a romantic sense. Not for all of you, clearly. And the Fool, even heavier, not heavier, but even more apparent that's what that is. So Three of Swords and the Fool. Fool is major arcana, secondary major arcana for Aquarius. You could be dealing with an Aquarius, but you don't have to be. So for some of you, I mean, you see that Three of Swords, you are really livid or deeply affected, purging possibly some very heavy emotional baggage from some type of relationship. Oh, right. So going back here, how this was the Hierophant and this is the Ten of Wands, and there's like, everything we talked about the house. For some of you, maybe this separation, divorce, whatever you're going through is from a partner. Doesn't have to be romantic. We can, own property or have invested in property with like family members and stuff like that. But there could be some agony, Three of Swords, over litigation regarding ownership of property, right? So somebody says, well, I own it, or I'm entitled to this much of the acreage or something like that. And, it's a battle. It's a fight. Others of you, it is straight up strictly romantic, and you're separating from, or you have been trying to separate from someone who you've been with for a long time. Regardless of what specifically is going on regarding courthouse, the majority of you are deeply wounded by this, and all you want to do is get free. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at how these cards lie down on the table here. I hope I can pick them up. Okay, so you want one moment to change into the next. I hope you should be able to see this. So you see how, there we go. You see how right there behind her, there's like this plain or like this little hillside, this cliff, and how if I hold it next to the Fool card, how it's like a continuation. So here she's in agony and there's a ground behind her, and she would rather just be able to walk over to the cliff and sort of like let it all go. Be set free from it, yeah? So there's like this change of fortune that you're desiring. When you're wishing that your world could go from gray to vivid, can't even talk, color, right? You're wishing that your heartbreak, your heartache, your feeling of betrayal, your feeling of being disheveled, or the word I'm given is dismantled. Oh, is this like a repo situation for some of you? Like, does somebody take you to court? Or are you taking someone to court and they're trying to fleece you? They're trying to like take everything you own. Like is this Hierophant? Because a Hierophant, going back there for 2 seconds, a Hierophant represents all kinds of systems in our lives or entities in our lives. So religion, school, government, things like that. It also can indicate banks. So some of you, maybe this is foreclosure. Because, I mean, again, looking at the Ten of Wands and how she's packed up all her stuff and she's, just out in the world with all her worldly possessions. So for some of you, this could have been an eviction story. Again, like foreclosure on a home. For some, though, because of the Three of Swords, it is personal. Like the reason you're embattled over a home, the reason that you're showing up to court is a personal reason. You're being, there's someone you know on a personal level, an intimate level, a friend, a family member, an ex or a current partner or whatever, that is really taking you to the cleaners, or you're taking them to the cleaners or something like that. And it's a little nasty. And, the desire here is to just let it all go. I don't know if that's you. I don't know if that's them, but I feel like somebody here would rather just have a reset on life with the Fool energy than to continually give into this heartache, this heartbreak. Like, I feel there's a lot of rehashing going on in the Three of Swords. I feel like we're looking over documents and we're looking over testimony, or we're hearing from people who are talking about things from years ago that somehow affect the present moment. Like, I feel like people are pulling out like sales documents and like bill of sale, you know what I mean? So if you sold this and you bought that, then that clearly shows you have no current interest in the property that's at the focal point of the court case. Something like that. That's very specific. But I feel, Pisces, this together is like regret. Like, I regret making these choices beforehand. I regret possibly getting into business or partnership with this person. In some cases, I regret marrying this person. Not all of you think that way, where this is a dissolution of a marriage or something. But there is like this regret. And if you could, with a flick of a switch, with the snap of a finger, you just want to let it go. But in reality, this courthouse is coming through as like super real, or like super sober. Like there's no illusions here. There's no wiggle room here. Whatever is going to be decided or is being litigated or argued, it's so real. And this desire for the Fool energy is a little surreal, or it's a little fantasy. Like, if you could, again, snap your fingers and, for all intents and purposes, not be who you are right now, be somebody else, live another life, or be in just different circumstances, that is what you would want. Because there's a lot of pain here with that Three of Swords. There's a lot of pain. It wasn't a big message, but I will serve it, or I will serve it. I will say it because I think it might apply to a few of you, and you just need the confirmation. Some of you, all of this is happening, or at least a big contributor to why this is happening to you, or what you're seeing develop in your life, is because of a third-party situation. Caveat still remains that I typically give about third-party situations in my on my channel with my work, especially for generals like this or collective readings like this. It's not always going to be romantic what the third party means. It doesn't have to be something salacious or kind of full of drama. A third-party situation can mean someone works too much. It could mean that somebody spends more time with their family, or excuse me, their friends than they do their family. Things like that, okay? What's the anchor energy of... Oh my God, I almost blanked. What is the current anchor energy, the central focus of Pisces' emotional space at this time, their spiritual space at this time? Marriage. Wow. So some of you desire a marriage to occur. You're planning it. Card number 3, so the number 3 might mean something to you. But some of you, that's where you want to be. Walking down the aisle, saying vows, exchanging your love and adoration and loyalty to the person that you love. Great. I like that. That feels good. Others of you, the central focus of your spiritual body at this time is revolving around a marriage that you no longer want, or that you, for some of you, I'm getting like this was your parents' marriage, and some of you were trying to replicate what they did. Like, maybe your parents had an ideal marriage, and now that you're 45 years old and, headed for a divorce court or something like that, you feel really bummed how your fortune or your luck in love is not as strong or is not as successful as your parents. That's just for like one person maybe. And others of you want, it's sort of like what I was getting over here. It's like you want the thing because the other person wants the thing. You don't necessarily want the thing. For a few of you, that's not for everybody. So that first group, you want it, they want it, boom. You guys are copacetic, you guys are on the same page, that works. Others of you, this is about the dissolving of a marriage. You know, it's as we were saying, it for some of you, it's looking like a split. Not for all of you, of course, who are in committed relationships. If you're happy, they're happy, don't worry about it. There's this third group that wants the marriage, wants the commitment, wants the long term, because that's what the partner wants. And you feel, again, obligated, or you have this sense of loyalty to them. And I'm not here to tell you completely that that's not in your best interest, because I have no idea. All of your stories are going to be different. But there is sort of like this fake it till you make it kind of energy. Like, look at her face. Like, can you see her face? Oh boy, there we go. Come on. All right, look at her face. Look at how she's like smirking a little bit. Like if this was literally the wedding photo, it's like, he looks pretty like jazzed to be there. Like, I can't believe I got to marry my best friend, Bethany, or, you know, Gwendolyn, or whatever her name might be. And hers is like, I'm very happy to be here. I'm having a good time. It's like, come on, that's your husband. Or that's, you know, your wife, or whoever, you know, no gender or whatever. So like, there's somebody who's smiling through it. Maybe that was the condition of your marriage, for those who are ending something. Maybe that's what you or your partner was doing the entire time, trying to fake it till they make it. And we all have our reasons to do what we do in life, so I'm not here to judge, but it feels like really melancholy and sad, you know? But let's get some further information through the tarot. So why is the marriage card the central focus of Pisces' spiritual body at this time? Why is this the central focus of their spiritual body at this time? Please show me. Empress, okay. And the Magician. All right. So absolute change of circumstance for some of you. I mean, it applies to all. For those where you're stepping into a marriage and you're feeling confident, you're feeling way in love, and your partner is reciprocating those feelings, that's great. Or you're going into it and you're a little hesitant, fine. I think in all cases, it feels like it's a change of fortune. It's a change of status. How can I say that? I mean, it's not, oh gosh. It's like some of you are stepping into, you know what it feels like? It feels like for some of you, you're stepping into unknown territory. You know, the Empress card, secondary major for Taurus and Libra. Again, that's 2 times for Taurus, so that might play for a few of you. And Magician is secondary major for Virgo and Gemini. Could be dealing with any of those signs or none at all. But it feels like you're stepping into unknown territory. Excuse me. I think this fake it till you make it, or, you know, holding on by the tips of your fingernails or something like that, or, you know, it's just like you're making it work, but it's almost like to an extreme cost, or it costs something to make this work. It costs something to walk away from it. It costs something to initiate this. It costs, whatever the change of status is, it's going to cost you. I don't want that to sound too ominous, because in some cases it's literally about money, Empress, and what we were talking about before, the house, and even, you know, potentially having the Hierophant represent a bank or some type of financial institution. So for some of you, the cost is just material. It's just about cash. Yeah. For others, it's like a change in status, or the cost is going from single to married, from married to single, from partner to non-partnered, from non-partnered to partnered, from being a person who shares office space with a person, because we started this little company, you know, 15 years ago in my parents' garage or something, and now we're parting ways because I or they have different dreams. You know, whatever the quality is, it's unknown to you. And I feel you or someone here doesn't know how to handle that fully, because the Empress is fine. as a solo figure in tarot. I'm talking about, not in you or other people in your life. In tarot, the Empress is fine, is a very strong and powerful individual energy, right? Is highly capable, doesn't really need anyone else, right? But has come out partnered with the Magician. The Magician has to make a lot of effort to see results. The Empress and the Emperor, to a certain extent, both of them, are effortless energies because they just naturally exude success, or they naturally have success come towards them, or they're so smart and they're so savvy that they set themselves up for, generations to come, so to speak, right? It's like a given, presuming that the energy is right, quote unquote, right. It's a big presumption, but usually true, that the Emperor and the Empress will get what they are after. The Magician is much more concentrated. It is effortful. It is very full of conscious trying. The Empress is very set it and forget it. It's just like, you just don't even sometimes recognize how hard you've worked to get where you are. The Magician, though, knows how hard they've worked to get where they are. So I feel like there's a tension here within you or the other person you're dealing with, where it's meant to be easy, but it turns out it's not easy. Or someone is overthinking, since this card has ties to Mercury. Someone is thinking too much about something. They're overthinking, overanalyzing, instead of going off of their natural intuition with the Empress and following their heart or following their hunches, or, being wise with their investments if this is about money and property and things like that. Someone over here is just like doing too much research, getting in their own way is what this feels like. And so I don't really know, I don't want to really touch it too much of what you're supposed to do with that in terms of like dating or potential marriages beginning or ending. Like, that's for you to discern what that means, but I don't think we need to get anything else from it. I mean, here's the thing. The Magician can create almost as, well, not as easily, but just with just as much success as the Empress. But the Magician can get in their own way, is what they're saying to me. Get in their own way. And that could be the difference between the two people that we were talking about earlier in the marriage card, where, again, whether it's a platonic love and connection, or whether it's a romantic commitment, whatever. This could be the two different people. One is like, yes, this is exactly how it's supposed to go. I feel confident in what I'm doing. I feel confident in what I'm experiencing. And the Magician could be like, I guess this, okay, sure, yeah. And I feel in that case, ooh, okay, it's not a deep cut, but it's a way that I understand that the tarot can be. It could be that the Magician dims themselves because they feel that the Empress knows more than them. And it's not that it's true, but I could see how they would be led to that. So what does that translate into? Again, this idea of going down the aisle and committing to someone for the rest of your life and saying those vows because you know that's what your partner wants and that's going to make them happy. So it's like the Magician steals away or ignores their own power, ignores their own power, their own status as a divine being, as a member of a divine space, and says, well, whatever the Empress wants, that's what we're going to do. Well, what about what you want? It's not to say the whole marriage thing is a yes or a no. It's like, you either do it or you don't. There's all new ways in which people are considering how to conduct themselves in marriage, right? One of the things that I always point to, because we do have the Hierophant here, and I do, again, somewhere in your energy, I feel this aspect or focus on tradition. And one of the examples that I point to is in terms of commitment and showing love and adoration and loyalty to a person. I point to Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. They've never been married. Never. But they have one of the most long-lasting relationships in Hollywood that we can point to today, yeah? And it's not to say that their way is easier or better. It works for them, right? And so maybe that's what someone here is like leaning towards. Maybe one partner is like more traditional and they want the whole ceremony, they want the exchange, they want it to be legal on paper, and somebody else is just like, I don't don't value that. It doesn't resonate with me. It's not as important to me. And but again, I feel if that's you, Pisces, if you're the partner, I don't really, it's not my bag. I feel that you automatically are like, well, whatever my partner wants, that's what we're going to do. And it's just like, well, again, I don't know your life and I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but it feels like there could be, what did I say earlier? Because of the shadowy nature of that house card, I did say that some things could be done in the shadows, or there's like secrets being kept. So, and then the smirk of the bride on the marriage card. You could, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but you could be lying to your partner about how much you want to marry them, or the type of relationship you want long term. Like I said, some of you might not want the ceremony. Maybe it's just that I don't want to spend all that money. I don't want to, in the time of COVID, I don't want to risk people getting together and contracting this virus. Like, I would rather we could still be married legally, just go down to the courthouse. Courthouse. Totally forgot that was there. But you see what I mean? So, like, I don't know. For me personally, I don't understand why people don't tell people the truth almost at all costs. Don't know me personally, because I I don't have much of a filter. Anyway, so what's the central focus of your purpose at this time? This is not what your purpose is. It is what is the central central focus of your purpose, your individual purpose at this time, Pisces. Mature woman. Card number 6. That might be important to you. So for some of you, the core focus of your purpose is you yourself might be a mature woman or turning into a mature woman. Others of you have a mature woman in your life who is of significance and plays a key role in your purpose. Strong mommy vibes here. So for some of you, this is your mother, or you are a mother, or you have some... Excuse me, one second. Sorry about that. For some of you, aspects of motherhood or what it means to be a mature woman, pardon me, is important. Excuse me. So for some of you, like, some aspect of nurturing and teaching is important in your life purpose. You yourself could be a teacher, a healer, someone who is looked up to, admired, someone who is trusted, trustworthy, all that good stuff. Very, very, very interesting. Some of you are like a botanist, or like you're growing a garden, or you have interest in like community gardens or like allotments and stuff, and like that's a part of your purpose. That's very specific. Anyway, 6, or excuse me, not 6, but mature woman. What else do we have here? Patience. You feel like maybe you did feel something. I don't know. In that moment, I closed my eyes. I took a breath, and like this gentleness, this need to slow it down was very apparent to me. So maybe that's what you need to do right now. When you're mature, allegedly, you're meant to have more patience. As opposed to, like a child. Children often can be very impatient and very finicky. And this mature woman, as you can see, she's sitting on this sofa. She's not going anywhere. So there there isn't a lot of ruckus in the scene, not a lot of disturbance in this person's energy. So that could be something that is part of your purpose. Like I said, maybe some of you are teachers, healers, people who, like a counselor or something like that. Okay, so let's get a little bit more information here for Pisces. Why is the mature woman... 1 second. Sorry about that. Why is the mature woman the central focus of their purpose at this time? Why is this the central focus of their purpose at this time? Please show me. Alright, yeah, okay, they're good. Central focus. Why is this the central focus of Pisces' purpose at this time? Show me. Prince of Pentacles. First card was the Three of Cups and the Prince of Pentacles. Okay, well, this is taking a turn for a few of you. Prince of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, could be dealing with the Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, don't have to be. Prince of Pentacles, aka Knight of Pentacles also. For some of you, this mature woman is attached to the Three of Swords energy. Like I said at the beginning, this could be a third-party situation. Doesn't have to be romantic still, but it could be that there is an interfering older person. Doesn't have to be a woman. I mean, technically, because this is still mostly a tarot reading, but Kipper is a little bit more specific about gender, or at least the duality of masculine and feminine, right? So for some of you, it could be a man who I'm talking about, but they have a high feminine quality about them. Doesn't mean they're effeminate, doesn't mean anything about their sexuality or their gender. It's just that they have stronger feminine qualities, or qualities that we associate with femininity. In terms of divine feminine or divine femininity, this person would be a caretaker. This person, again, would be a great support system. They might rule, or be, the way that they might show up in a quote-unquote an aggressive manner is passive-aggressive. Do you get what I mean? Like, those are, again, things that we usually attribute to feminine or femininity, yeah? And again, no gender, it's about the marker of the person. So it could be like a boss, mother or mother-in-law, older sister, grandma, auntie, something like that. And I feel that this person maybe was overprotective of you, or overprotective of the other person in the third party situation, or the other side of things, right? And this person really maybe had a lot of clout, had a lot of power to throw around. I'm getting the sense of like a disapproving glance or disapproving look, because what they observed in the situation was a lot of, in their estimation, just, this is not for everybody, by the way, but for some of them, where they were standing, there was a lot of nonsense going on, a lot of frivolous behavior, a lot of immature behavior. And so this person has shown up to kind of put the hammer down on things, and that's part of your purpose somehow. Or for some of you, this is like someone who raised you, who has had a hand in shaping who you are as an adult. And maybe you're still forming, because we do have this Prince of Pentacles out here, and that could be you. In some of your cases, it's not. But this person has cultivated you. Interesting word, cultivated you. Maybe this is not the best word either, but they've groomed you. They've really taught you everything you know about a particular situation, or they've really taught you a lot in life. Oh, what did I say? Didn't I say that in this reading? I did, when we first talked about the marriage card. I did talk about this idea of replication. So some of you, this is someone in your life who, strong matriarch or strong feminine energy, whether it be in a, the physical body of a male or a female, it does not matter. And you're trying to emulate this person. And that's part of your purpose somehow, is to try to emulate them. But some of you struggle to do that because you're still a little wet behind the ears. I gotta be honest. Three of Cups with the Prince of Pentacles. You're not necessarily there yet, but you want to be. Some of you really, really, really want to be like this person, or you want to be treated like this person. If not emulate or replicate them, you want to be respected the same way they were respected. You want to be honored the way that they were honored, and have access, or at least the capabilities that they had. So again, a little bit back to replication. But for some of you, it's like you want to match this person's energy. You want to walk sort of kind of in their footsteps. But it's proven to be a little bit of a struggle for you, Pisces, because a lot of you feel you're not up to the task, or you don't have enough. And there's something, and Knight of Pentacles typically isn't about lack or laxness, I guess, or laziness or whatever. But again, in this combination, Three of Cups with the Prince of Pentacles, I feel like some of you know you should be further, or at least this is how you're thinking of it. I should be further along my journey. I should be closer to these goals. I should be closer to this image of this older an influential person in my life. I should be more like them by this stage in my life. Do you get what I mean? Like, by the time he or she was my age, they had XYZ. And then you're looking at your circumstances, you're like, all I have is this. And it's not enough. Or this is what I have, but I'm not fully matured because I still, I still like to have a good time in life, or I still like to party, or I still like to drink, or I still like to, possibly some of you don't have there it is again. Like, you might have a relationship to speak of because, we did see that earlier, but you don't feel as, like I said, dialed into it. You're in it because someone else wants you to be in it, or you're in it because that was the value system of somebody else and you're trying to, again, replicate it. My grandma, my mom, or my great uncle or whoever, like, they were married for 40 years. That's exactly what I should do. Yeah, I guess, if that's what you believe. And again, I'm not here to challenge anybody, and I'm not here to say throw your relationship out the window, but I am feeling a sense of traditional versus non-traditional, and Pisces, you're having a hard time finding your footing, finding how to assert what you want, or live in that authenticity. I hope that makes sense, okay? Is that everything there? In other cases, very, very dialed back, dial in, dial back, dial everywhere. But going back to the house, for some of you, this is the owner of the house or the original owner of the house. They may be living, they may not be living. I'm not sure. But there could be like this person, if they're alive, they could be putting up barriers regarding something to do with a property. Like, this could be, no offense, this could be like an old curmudgeon who refuses to sign over deeds or to make sales to anybody. Like, they're going to die and everything's going to be in their name. No offense, I'm not trying to be like macabre about it. I'm not trying to be morbid about it. But like, that's kind of what it feels like. And so you are kind of tied, or at least this is how they see you. They don't see you as being mature enough to take over ownership. They don't see you mature. They don't see you as being mature enough or stable enough, if not mature, stable enough with the Prince of Pentacles to really take care of business. All right, so that's the central focus of your purpose at this time. I hope that makes sense. I wasn't really expecting that to come out, but I don't really expect much to come out most of the time. All right, and what is the central focus of your soul relationships? Any type of soulmate you might have, romantic or otherwise, platonic, friend, family, whatever it is. If you have one to speak of, or several, because in my estimation we have many soulmates, let's see what the central focus of it is. Come on, Pisces. Lovers. Card 15. Added together, it's a 6. Wow. I mean, on its face, it's not a fully love reading, but for many of you, your love and your relationships, romantic or otherwise, but for many of you, romantic, are playing heavily at this time in your life. So let's see. So, oh, I didn't read this intuitively. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm all rushing. I'm rushing through your reading. I apologize. So the fact that I guess you would call those I guess you would call those doves. I think those are doves, the birds that we see there. And then we see these two figures in a statue. So some of you are really having soul connection with a person that you have either a past life connection with, and or you've known them a long time, or you feel like you've known them a long time with how the stone figures are coming through to me, the statues. It's like, that didn't happen overnight. This is not the first day of these two being sat up on that ledge there. They've been there for a minute, yeah? So for some of you, this is a long-term relationship that you have with this person. Again, it doesn't have to be that you're lovers. It can be a long-term relationship with a family member, a friend, okay? And I think you feel tenderly towards this person, and they feel tenderly towards you. The two doves are giving me that. It's like, Okay, Pisces, here we go. I'm just gonna get in that butt just a little bit. I feel like some of you are idolizing someone, or someone's idolizing you. It can go vice versa. But there is sort of like this emphasis on, or this belief that the person or the situation and the relationship you have together is pure, is innocent, is gentle, is or should be protected at all cost, or is so precious that it cannot be tainted. It cannot be thought of in any negative way. That was going way back here where I was like feeling like someone is like a little guilty for not wanting to do something, or they feel bad like, oh no, I'm thinking of, wanting to step away from this situation, or I'm thinking of how difficult this is. And I shouldn't do that because I should be happy that this is my partner, or this is my brother, or this is my husband, or this is my sister, whatever. It's like feeling you're being disloyal by even thinking bad thoughts, so to speak. There is criticism that exists within you. Let's do a little teeny tiny astrological lesson for you, Pisces. You are opposite sign Virgo, and Virgo is the sixth house. And one of the things that exists in sixth house is day-to-day activities, and one of the natural traits or skills of Virgo is analysis, is being critical, right? Your opposite is not necessarily you, but it's the underside of you, or the subconscious side of you, perhaps, is another way you could think of it. So anything Virgo does, you can do, and anything you do, Virgo does, but you do it in opposite intensities, or you just do it in very different ways, very nuanced different ways, right? So Virgo tends to be a little bit more obviously critical. You can tell when they're thinking something, or that they're in some type of quandary about something. They're vexed about something. You can tell. Pisces, you cannot tell. So that's the difference. So what's going on here is you're doing that. You're being critical of this relationship, of this connection, of the quality of it, or how it's going so far, or how it's been going the past possibly 15 years, right? And instead of vocalizing it, which is your right, you don't have to say a word, you're just keeping it on the inside, and you feel bad because, again, Pisces and Virgo both have strong sense of loyalty to themselves. Well, not to themselves, to the people that surround you, the people that populate your life, those that you are intimate with, those that you are close with, those that you spend quality time with and share love and affection with, right? So you're incredibly loyal to people, but at the same time, you don't want to be, and that loyalty makes you feel bad about being critical. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So let's figure out what else is going on here in your soulmate relationships. And this could be one person. This could be several people. This could be the quality of many of your soul relationships. If it's not just one person at this time, you could have like 2 or 3 going. And in each one, you're just like, oh my God, he or she just said that. And I hate that they said that. But I feel bad because, they've always been good to me. And it's like you try to talk yourself out of not talking crap or talking poorly about this person. It's just like I feel like you or someone in this situation feels like I shouldn't be dissatisfied with this because this person is my soulmate, right? I shouldn't be dissatisfied with this because this person is significant to me in some type of way. I should be grateful, or I should be happy. I should be contented. I should be inspired. I should be all these things. But you're maybe not fully at least. Not to say you hate them or, you can't wait to get away from them. In some of your cases, maybe. But in many of your cases, no. It's not, again, a little bit of an astrology thing. Your 12th house, right? 12th house is about the subconscious. 12th house is about escapism and fantasy. 12th house can also be about illusions and delusions and seeing things in a way that they absolutely are not existing in reality. So some of you are I don't want to say you're making it up, but you're seeing things about your situation that maybe aren't 100% true. Let's say it that way, okay? All right, Pisces. Give me some clarification on why the Lover's card has shown up in Pisces soulmate energy in the The anchor card for their soulmate relationships. Why is the Lover's card here? Give me further information on that, please. Further clarification on that card, please. All right. Eight of Swords. Yeah. Oh, so loyal. And it has a purpose. There's virtue in that. But Pisces, in my work, it's important to be authentic, and it's important to tell people where you're coming from. I mean, 2 times. I might do more because this is essentially the same message. Well, okay. I mentioned this movie earlier today. So as we see on the Eight of Swords there is a rose. So maybe some of you are having a War of the Roses kind of story. War of the Roses not only is a historical event. I think it was like in the, it's like a British, something happened with like a British house. I can't remember what it is, but the War of the Roses that I'm talking about is a movie. I think it's in the 80s, starring Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and Danny DeVito. And in it, spoiler alert in case you never saw it, they play this married couple and it turns into a war as they go down the route towards divorce. So, not saying that is your story, not saying that's what you want, but I am getting this vibe of, in the movie, and what I'm sensing in your energy is what once was tender and wonderful, and it was passionate, and they were fighting over a house in the War of the Roses. And what were we talking about earlier? A house. Anyway, so they had a wonderful marriage until one day it was not wonderful anymore, and the big contentious part of the film is they both want to keep the house, and they go to war over that house. Some of you, that's what you're doing with this person. You're going to war with them over the house. Now, some of you, it's about ownership and who is entitled to something. Others of you, it's like, again, like I said, it's about the decor. I hate that the sofa is facing that wall. We should have the sofa facing the windows. Okay, however it resonates in your life. So, Eight of Swords is like feeling stuck. Like, some of you feel stuck because this is circulating around the courts and it's taking forever to get to some type of verdict, right? So that's how you feel stuck. Others of you feel stuck because you're not trying to divorce, you're not trying to separate, you love this person very much and they love you, but you can't agree on something. And you feel, like I said, some of you feel like you have to acquiesce. You feel like you have to give up your position, your desires, your wants, your needs, your opinion because it's going to make them happy. Sure, I guess if that's what you want to do, you can do that. I don't recommend it though. But again, I don't know your life. I don't know the specifics. So, take it all with a grain of salt. But I feel like some of you are turning bitter because of that, because you feel your hands are tied, even though they're not. That's the whole idea behind the Eight of Swords in tarot. We believe we're caught in a situation. We believe that our circumstances cannot improve or we can't get free of them. Going back to this Fool energy, you're, again, Three of Swords and the Fool, wanting to get out of this heartache, wanting to stop feeling awful and just feel free and unbridled. And full, just like fall to the ground and be like, I don't even have to deal with this anymore. Like just this sense of freedom. It's not here with the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Wands next to it. So for some of you, Pisces, I love you guys. You're one of my favorite astrological signs. But I'm going to criticize you. You can... It's not the best phrasing, but you can beat a situation to death. A phrase that I use with one of my friends is, you can ride the train till the tracks are gone. You get what I mean? Like, you go beyond the point of a reasonable stop. You're still in the train, the tracks have run out, you're, riding down the road, no tracks under the train, sparks flying everywhere. It's a bumpy ride. You get what I mean? And that is coming through with the Nine of Wands, because the Nine of Wands is about sticking to your guns, standing your ground, or more what I was meant to say was, it's about being fiercely dedicated, fighting a good fight. Everything I just said before that, standing your ground, putting in or basically fighting for what you believe in, or standing up for yourself, that's also there. You can choose to approach the Nine of Wands or tap into the Nine of Wands from either side. Either I'm gonna stay here, be a loyal soldier, fight a good fight, and if I get injured in the process, if I end up losing my arm because of shrapnel, no big deal. That was what I signed up to do as a soldier. And you might be like, where the hell are you getting soldier? There's like a chimpanzee on the card. Traditional depiction of the Nine of Wands shows a guy with like a head bandage on, and that person is called the Wounded Warrior. So you can choose to go that route. Take shrapnel, lose a limb, no big deal. That was what you signed up for in the beginning anyway. You knew what you were risking. Okay, I respect that. The other side of the Nine of Wands is, I'm not going to give up an inch. I'm going to fight tooth and nail, and people are going to hear me. People are going to see me. And even if I do lose my arm, it's like a slightly different perspective. It's like one is more like, well, I got a little beat up in the process, but I guess that's okay. And the other side is like, oh yeah, I earned these stripes. I earned these stripes. Yeah, I earned these stripes. I went through the war. Damn it. Yes. You get what I mean? Like, one's a little sulkier. One's a little more, I guess this is what it costs to be a good soldier. I gotta lose limbs. That's the cost. I'm a good soldier. And the other side is like fiercely protective. Interesting. Kind of plays to that energy that I was talking about earlier. There's a little bit of like a avoidance, like not really wanting to give up information is how that is coming through. That defensive is coming as not wanting to give up information, which I kind of talked about earlier. Some of you might be doing things in secret, which again, 12th and 6th house, Pisces and Virgo, y'all love a secret. Let me tell you. Okay. But anyway, so the quality or the reason, not the reason, but this soul relationship that you have with this person or people, I think you feel incredibly loyal to it, which I applaud, but I think many of you are, I don't want to say needlessly, but you are for your intent, for your purpose, you're kind of sacrificing maybe more than you should. That's what it feels like, or maybe that's how some of you are feeling. Maybe that's how some of your friends or your family members are telling you. Pisces, you're giving up way too much, or Pisces, you're not really getting much benefit out of the situation. Why do you keep doing this? Or they're taking you for everything you've got and you're not fighting back. There's something here where I feel like some of you are just like not protecting yourselves as well as you could be, and I don't know you personally, but it does feel a little like getting wrapped up or getting swept away in the current of the situation. The undertow of the situation has pulled you way further away from the shore than you need to be. But that I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you about that. Okay, Pisces, that is your reading for your birthday season here in 2021. If you like this reading, if it resonated with you in any, or if you just want to generally show your support to the channel, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. If you like this style of birthday reading, if you've been with me for a while and you've seen the different versions I've done throughout the years, let me know how you feel about this. I like doing this, but if you guys don't dig it, it won't come back. But anyway. And if you guys want to get at me for a personal, feel free to reach out via the information in the description box. And again, I'll go live for you all on March 13th at 7 p.m. here on the channel. So if you have a question for me and you've got nothing else going on that day and you want to hang out for a little bit, come on down. All right. Pisces, for this specific reading, I'll see you in a year. But for your March, that's coming up. Mid-March is coming up. By the time you're seeing this, the mid-February's are already up. So you've got a lot of things. Just check out your playlist and you'll find it all in there. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Take care. Bye.